Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, good evening to you all around the world. Let's read in the book of Psalms tonight and see what God has to say. Psalm 49. Hear this, all you peoples. Listen, all who inhabit the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth speaks wisdom. My heart's meditation brings understanding. I turn my ear to a proverb. I explain my riddle with a lyre. Why should I fear in times of trouble? The iniquity of my foes surrounds me. They trust in their wealth and boast of their abundant riches. Yet these cannot redeem a person or pay his ransom to God, since the price of redeeming him is too costly. One should forever stop trying, so that he may live forever and not see the pit. For one can see that the wise die. The foolish and the stupid also pass away. Then they leave their wealth to others. Their graves are permanent homes, their dwellings from generation to generation, though they have named estates after themselves. But despite his assets, mankind will not last. He is like the animals that perish. This is the way of those who are arrogant, and their followers who approve of their works. Like sheep they are headed for Sheol. Death will shepherd them. The upright will rule over them in the morning, and their form will waste away in Sheol, far from their lofty abode. But God will redeem me from the power of Sheol, for he will take me. Do not be afraid when a person gets rich, when the wealth of his house increases. For when he dies, he will take nothing at all. His wealth will not follow him down, though he blesses himself during his lifetime. And you are acclaimed when you do well for yourself. He will go to the generation of his fathers. They will never see the light. Mankind with his assets, but without understanding, is like the animals that perish. Amen. That's a powerful word when you think about it. And it says, why should we put our trust in the riches of the earth? Right? Why should we worry ourselves day in and day out about money when all of our source and all of our strength is in YEHOVAH alone? That's who we put our trust in. If we can't trust in YEHOVAH and we strive day in and day out to get rich and forget about our Father, well, life truly is meaningless if you strive for the wealth of the world and you forget your Father. So, let's see what the notes say. Ambrose says this: do not be troubled when you hear that the glory of someone's house has increased. Think deeply about it, and you will see that a house is empty if it is not filled with faith. Adam, by his ruin, left us void and empty, but Christ's grace has filled the void. Christ emptied himself so that the fullness of virtue might live in human flesh. Amen. That's a beautiful word right there by Ambrose. And it's true. There is another verse that I like to quote a lot, and it says, some may trust in horses, and some may trust in chariots, but we will trust in YEHOVAH our God. Amen. It's good to be reminded of this. Don't put your trust in the wealth of the world. There's many things I wish I could have from the wealth of the world, but in the end, if they don't bring me closer to God, there is no point in these riches of the earth. Whatever gets me closer to my Father is what I need and is what you need. It's what we all need. His riches and glory is sufficient for me. All my needs come from Him and from His Son, who strengthens me. Be reminded of these things, because remember, we don't take the riches of the earth with us. What matters in the end is when you go, will you go to be with God, or will you go down into the pit? Wealth dies. Heaven and earth pass away, but God doesn't pass away. I'd rather be with God because He doesn't pass away. He is eternal. And I would rather be with someone eternal who is pure love than of pure hatred. He is more wealthy, and the world is blind to it. They're blind to what his wealth will bring you. In the end, all that matters is what did we do for our Father. Let's do our best and let him in the end say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into the rest." Let's please him and don't worry about the surroundings and the wealth and the influence of the world. God bless you, my brothers and sisters.